KevinJJohnston here. I've not been able to go live for 30 days because I made a comment, or I think I replied to a comment. I forget which one. I forget what I said. Couldn't have been that important, not to me, because if I forgot what it was that got me suspended for 30 days, why would I care? But after 30 days suspension of just being able to go live here on Instagram, I have decided to go live here on Instagram. So I appreciate all of you coming in to say a quick hello. I'm going to be live here for about, I'd say, 20 minutes. I'm right now at a place called the Beehive. It's a really cool restaurant here in Costa Rica. We're doing our show tonight, the real estate show, which is live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The best way to see that would be on freedomreport.ca. That takes you directly to my Rumble channel where you can interact with the crowd. There's a lot of really good questions that come in. So I want to answer everybody's questions I possibly can in reference to real estate here in Costa Rica, but also moving all of your assets and or funds to Costa Rica, because I'll tell you this right now, everybody, it's really getting ugly. We know that Canada has its troubles, and we know that America has its troubles, and the UK is crazy. We know this. But what I'm really worried about is that many of you are not going to be able to get your assets out once these countries go to central bank digital currencies, which is all in the talks right now and will be happening whether you think so or not, and whether you want it or not. And yes, thank you everyone for noticing. I'm down quite a few pounds since I got here. I mean, when there's no stress in your life, and that's the other problem with Canada. You all, I'm pretty sure all of you know my story, where the Canadian government simply didn't want me talking. Didn't want me talking to you here or down here on Rumble or anywhere else. And they kept going out of their way to ensure that I would be as stressed out as possible. But now I'm no longer in Canada. I'm completely outside of Canadian jurisdiction. There is nothing the Canadian government can do or say to stop me from speaking. So naturally, now that I can let loose and just be the best Kevin I can possibly be, yeah, I'm going to lose weight because I'm just in general happier. I know that a lot of you are stuck in Canada. I've heard so many stories about it being gloomy and gray. You know, it's been like no sun and whatnot. Calgary was minus 50 for a short while there. I feel horrible for you. I do. But I had to leave because I can't handle that weather anymore. I love Calgary. I do. I love the city of Calgary. But I also cannot endure having to wear sweaters from September to May. Right? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and May. So 9 to 10 months of the year, I'm wearing sweaters, and it gets on my nerves. I'm wearing t-shirts and shorts, and I drive Ed crazy here because I don't wear pants in Costa Rica unless I'm in a restaurant, in which case it's kind of mandatory. To come to Costa Rica, it's not 90 days. You can stay for 6 months and then leave for 36 hours and then come right back in for 6 more months. Mexico has the same policy, and so does El Salvador. So you need not worry about any of that, folks. And if you are going to come down, I highly recommend it. In fact, I highly recommend the West Coast. There's a lot to do, and there's good people here, and the weather is amazing. Uvita's hot, not going to lie. There are days where it peaks around 87 to 90 degrees, but that's what I'm here for. It's what I wanted, so I'm not going to cry about that. I find that so far the best weather that we've had in Costa Rica is in San Jose, because San Jose is in the middle of the country. It's also in the middle of a whole bunch of mountains, so you get these amazing breezes that come through. It's 75 to 80 during the day. It's about 65 at night. And I don't do Celsius. So forgive me. Jump on Google and find out for yourself what that is in Celsius. Getting back to what I'm saying is that we're doing the live show today at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark Savoya is going to be joining me on the show. We're going to go live on TikTok and Rumble, Facebook, DLive, Twitch, Restream, just a whole bunch of places. All right, I'm a Tico living in Leduc, Alberta, and I have supported you for a long time. I wish you luck in my beautiful country, Pura Vida. Pura Vida, my friend. And thank you for saying so. And eventually you'll probably get tired of Alberta and you want to come back here, because this place is just awesome. It really is fantastic. What about your Canadian pension? You just keep collecting it. That's how it works. If you have a Canadian pension, that's yours. You keep collecting. You employ Costa Ricans. Can you stay as long as you want? Become a resident. You can stay as long as you want. You don't have to employ anybody to become to become a resident or to be a resident. And once you become a resident of Costa Rica, here's the cool part: you buy guns, and you can carry them concealed wherever you go. And there's castle law here. So if someone breaks into your house, shoot them. Call the police, and the police will just come and pick up the corpse and tip their hat, and they'll walk out the door. It's so different here. This is what you call real freedom. Costa Rica, one thing you do not want to do is cross people. Don't cross people here. So if you make a deal, stick it out. Just do it. Make the deal, do the deal, and be done with it. People here, if they feel that they were deliberately cheated, they'll be looking for some revenge here. So that's what I call true freedom. And that's just one factor you got to consider. But the people here are polite, and I mean polite, over the top polite. It is a Catholic country, so you'll find that the manners here are something else. But you're also going to find that on Sunday, just about everything shuts down. So if you got things to do, the only thing that's open on Sundays is would be the grocery stores and the restaurants. Everything else is closed. You're not buying appliances. You're not buying bikes. You're not buying cars. You're not buying anything on Sundays here. And hey, Sandy, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Don't you have to be living in Canada so many days a year to be eligible? No, but also, Thurston, shut up. That's what you do. You shut up. You exercise your right to remain silent in Canada. Where everybody goes wrong with pensions and paperwork is that people just can't wait to open their mouths and make a phone call saying, oh, I don't live in Ontario anymore. And just think, why? Shut up about it. Don't tell the government anything. Right? You're not breaking the law by doing so. You're not obligated to do what the government says because the government doesn't pay you to do these things. It's much the same way that whenever a form gets presented to you by the government, you actually don't have to spend time filling that out. So my strongest recommendation is be quiet. Don't tell people where you live. Everyone's biggest problem is they can't wait to blab. Now, you all know that I'm in Costa Rica these days, but I'm not going to tell you where. I'm not going to tell you what my coordinates are. I won't tell you what house I'm in. I'm certainly not going to tell you what's in my pocket. And I'm not going to tell you what my earnings are, if any. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent. Like, I tell everybody more of my life story than any of the podcaster does. But there are select things you're never going to know. And I strongly, Thurston, recommend you get into the habit of, live your life. But don't tell anybody about it. Don't post how great your life is online. Just post stupid memes and jokes so that you're always throwing people off your scent. There you go. And someone here, Costa Man, says, I live in Playa Grande. All right. Well, I haven't been there yet, but I'll be traveling the whole country soon. I want to see everything this country has to offer. I don't think you've lived in Costa Rica long enough. Your views may change after a year. That's true with any place. Absolutely, that's true. My views on living in Denver, for example, changed after about 8 weeks. I couldn't wait to get the hell out after 8 weeks. The first 5 were good. Yeah, the last 3 sucked. Just how it is. You are correct to say so, but I've committed to being here. I signed a great contract, so I've committed to being here for a year, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right. What else do we have there? Canada is still beautiful. Yes, Canada is a beautiful country, but the people have allowed it to become a horrible place to be. Canadians just let everybody in government walk all over them. The government walked all over everything, and the left wing have taken over everything. So Canada sucks. I mean, look, think about this. 2 days ago, if you remember the trucker that was on our show, who at 5 kilometers an hour crunched a cone, a traffic cone. He got 10 months in prison for crunching a cone because the judge, scumbag that he is, told the guy driving the truck what he was thinking. Yeah, you tried to frighten a police officer. And that RCMP cop was crying on the stand, I've got PTSD. Really? Loser. If a cop is going to be frightened by someone running over a cone, that individual belongs in an institution. That individual should not have a gun and body armor and a 6-figure salary. So we have problems in Canada, and as much as I love the Rockies, and I do love the city of Calgary, and there are places in Ontario that are beautiful beyond reproach, I can't be a part of it anymore. I can't be a part of radical Islam that runs everything in Southern Ontario. I can't be a part of Communist China that runs everything on the West Coast. I can't be a part of the left-wing mayors that are selected in cities and not elected. And I don't want to be a part of a 7 to 10% increase in property tax and a 15% increase in food prices every single year. It's out of control. At what point does it all end? How long have I been here in Costa Rica? This is my 9th week here, and I'm loving every minute of it. Okay, I'm just going to keep checking. Yeah, Lizzie, I salute the truckers' convoy as well. It's a sin to buy things not needed on Sunday for Catholics. I'm Catholic. I know what the sins are. But I can tell you this, on Sunday, I need coffee. Need it. But I found a coffee supplier in town here, and the stuff is delicious. So I've got 40 bags of coffee. I don't need to shop on Sunday. We're going to be fine. Kirk! Handsome Black Kirk is in the house. Brother, it's been too long. I hope you're well. I really hope you're well. All right. Hold on there. Just going through all your comments here. Hey, Sandy. Good to see you. Getting a lot of thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. I certainly do appreciate that. Thurston says, okay, but you're not being quiet. No, Thurston, I'm a big mouth for a living. I've got a big mouth. But you notice how as big as my mouth is, none of you know what the names of my ex-girlfriends are or ex-lovers. None of you know what my kids' names are. None of you know my bra size. I don't share those things with you. You just don't know these things. So I'm okay talking about set things, especially when it comes to what I do for a living, but I'm not going to be telling people anything about personal finances or personal information that is honestly no one's business. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have a pension and live elsewhere in the world, just shh about it. Say nothing. There you go. And not everybody has a big mouth like me, so I get the fact that I talk a lot, but it's what I do for a living. All right.
Bubba's mouth is bigger than yours.
They told me that Costa Rica is the third wheel country and it's pretty dangerous to live in some areas. Well, yeah, there are some areas. The East Coast is not one I recommend to anybody. The Caribbean, not good. But the West Coast is where all of the expats go. Canadians, Brits, Americans, everyone ends up being on the West Coast. And the Costa Rican government's well aware of the fact that there are that many people here on the West Coast. So what do? Is they protect the foreign money. Money makes the world go round. So when gringos come in, they bring cash. And as a result of the gringos bringing cash, you can be rest assured the government's making sure themselves that the West Coast is safe. I haven't seen any crime here. Just for the record. No snakes either. Yes, Maximum Jack, not everybody has the resources or the opportunity to leave Canada. I get that. Truthfully, I didn't when I left, but I just said the hell with it. I'm done. I'm done. I have to make this work because I'm done. So here I am making it work because I didn't see a future in Canada and I didn't see a reason to go on in Canada. That's how depressing and dark that place is. So I'm here full of life now. Damn it, I'm going to make this work. Just checking everything out here. I'm just looking at comments here. So 84 Johnston 84 says, Porto Geminis, my guy has built 2 houses and a school that teaches English if Canadians are looking to move my family down. Go to my website, my personal website, my name, KevinJJohnston.me, and hit me on the contact form. I want to talk to you about that. Can you ask if there are any airborne rangers left there in Canada from the late 80s? I don't know if there's any left. I thought the airborne rangers were disbanded, were they not? I certainly hope. Maybe I've got that wrong. But I haven't met any Canadian military here yet, if that's what you're asking. When I do, believe me, I'm buying them lunch. Ryan says, I'm moving to Costa Rica in May, planning on making the move with my wife, 6 and 5-year-old. It's an adjustment period, but if you've got the stones for it, you'll eventually learn to love it. That's just how it is. You will learn to love it. I'm so pleased about the opportunity that there is here. just freedom of speech. I mean, I don't know last night if you watched my show, but I cracked, not a joke, it's kind of half a joke and half a serious statement, talking about that loser RCMP officer that lied on the stand and sent our good friend to jail for 10 months. Yeah, that guy. I was saying, listen, buddy, if you have nightmares because some guy ran over a cone, and I accused him of being married to the actual cone itself, that you could go to any hospital in Canada and just say, hey, I'm a loser cop and I'm too depressed to go on, and say that you want mates, and they will fill you with drugs, kill you off, harvest your organs, and give them to somebody else who's not a complete wimp. I can't say that in Canada, but I can say it here. And believe me, I have and I will. Am I in a gated community? It's only gated at the entrance, but there's no fencing around. It's just a gate to stop big trucks from parking on the long driveways, which are made of clay and rocks. But if you wanted to walk around the gate, you just walk around the gate. Okay. Just going through all your comments here. What are my thoughts on the Emergency Act being ruled unconstitutional? Well, I mean, I feel vindicated in that I said it was unconstitutional the day that it was even suggested to the public. Now the public has had an opportunity to understand how evil our government is. And I suspect that a great many people had said that I belonged in jail when I was placed there for having a mouth. Now they're probably thinking something completely different. Oh, man, that Johnston guy, that Chris Sky guy, that Pastor Archer Pavlovsky guy, that Pat King guy, those guys were right. And as a result of all of us having been right, we're still talking today, they're still trying to incarcerate all of us. They just are. I was chatting very quickly with Pat King the other day, and he's concerned, not necessarily fearful, but concerned that they're going to try to lock him up for at least 4 years. For what? Because he wasn't even the key organizer of the truckers' convoy. He just happened to be one of the big mouths like me to do with it. And believe me, I would have been a big mouth there too, but I was house arrest in Alberta. Unreal. There is no army, Paul, in Costa Rica. They got rid of the army quite some time ago. Okay. Cosmic Warrior. I have a big mouth for a living. Oh my God, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I do. Look, you guys know what I do. I tell the truth about everything. All right? I come out here and I say, I'm a 52-year-old gray-haired guy. All right? I'm 5'6". Currently, I weigh 190 pounds. My body fat is 17.5%. Now, I'm not going to go so far to give you penis size. You'd have to be one of the lucky women out there to find out for yourself. I'm not going to share any of that with you. I'll tell the truth to a degree. There we go. Bra size, Kevin. Nope, not telling you the bra size either. All right, there we go. All right, guys, I'm just trying to... Instagram's change where you put your fingers on the screen here. Canadians born and raised are starting to flee. They are. And they should, too. There's no reason to be there. Not anymore. My wife invested in a farm in Costa Rica, so we have a place there if it gets bad in Canada. We own a farm near Golden, and we are studying private contract trust and equity law. Oh boy, yeah. If you figure that out, you call me, let me know. I want to hear more. Any limit on the money you can put in the bank? No, but you do have to buy a property here first before you can even think about moving money to Costa Rica. So this is not a place you launder money just as liquid cash. Buy a property. I mean, technically it's money laundering, but you're buying a house. The government likes that. And at that point, you can then transfer what you need to purchase the house, plus maintenance fees, plus everything else to go with it. So you buy a house for $500K US and transfer $1 million. All right, there you go. No problem at all. And your money's safe from the IRS and the CRA. All right, I'm going through all your comments. Yeah, Milam Demjay, I couldn't go live for 30 days. I commented and I got a 30-day suspension. And I don't even know what I said. It couldn't have been that bad. Do you think they'll lock us down again? Calgary 100 or 1,000, sorry, that's exactly what they're planning on doing. Disease X, I covered this. Unfortunately, every time I cover this, TikTok takes it down, and sometimes Instagram will put a COVID warning on it. But this Disease X thing, there's no disease. We know that. There was no COVID-19. We know that. But for countries that will not cooperate with the World Economic Forum on this, they'll have Disease X sprung on them in some way. So Canada will cooperate fully. be ready. Be prepared. Your feet is choppy up here in the dictatorship of the North. Well, for that I do apologize. I'm at a bar in a small beach town in Costa Rica. I don't know what that means. It means maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Paul says, I'm happy for you. I hope you make it work. I wish I could do it tomorrow. I've been moving out of my Boston place. Turned very woke. Yeah, Boston did go pretty woke and pretty violent, unfortunately. And that's too bad because Boston is, well, at least in the 90s, it was a great town back then. But, you know, the fake COVID pandemic nonsense buried all the retail there, which is so unfortunate. It really is. Okay, Lionel says, I'm afraid to be there alone, leaving family, but financially I feel like a sitting duck here. Okay. This is a comment I'm going to make. You may not agree, but this is my life philosophy, and I'm going to live by it forever. A lot of people say that they're not moving away from where they hate because their family is there. They're not you. Okay? Your mom, your dad, they decide, no, we're going to stay because we're comfortable. Okay, well, then, Mom, Dad, I love you, but I need to go and do my thing. You know, will you stop and think about family? Let's just, I'm going to cover my family here. Here's me telling you what's going on my side here. On my father's side of the family, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got five first cousins, and as a result of them getting married and having kids, I've got more than 20 second cousins. I don't know any of their names. I don't know any of my second cousins' names because my first cousins do not talk to me. I don't even know why. If I said something back when I was 18 to bother them so much, well, I'm sorry, but whatever it might be, they don't talk to me. So I don't know them. I'm not going to stick around in Ontario because I happen to have 25 whatever cousins in total, first and second cousins. What the hell do they mean to me? I haven't even got a Christmas card or a phone call or an email. You know, and I'm a public figure. They know who I am. They could always say, hi, cousin Kevin. I'm your second cousin Bob. I live in Hamilton, Ontario. Thank you. Not one. So, fuck them. Right? That's how that is. I'm not putting my life on hold for that. You know, the other family I've got is an estranged brother. And one day I hope to put that relationship back together, but it's not going to happen today. And he's in Mississauga, and he likes it there. And I hate it there. So, let him do his thing. Remember the line in Austin Powers? Right? You know, hey, baby, you just got to do it for yourself. It's true. You do. I would never in this lifetime put my life on hold for extended family in any particular way. It's not my duty to take care of them when I have an opportunity to expand and a duty to myself to use all of my skills and my talents to make me better and my offspring better. So the only family that I do anything for are my kids, because I have no obligations to anybody else. Not aunts, not uncles, not cousins, nobody. And they say you can't pick your family. Bullshit. Yes, you can. All right? I've got beautiful people that are, I consider them my family in Alberta. I love them very much. And to me, they are people that I'll go out of my way to help. And they are people that I call my family. So you can. You can tell blood relatives to fungu, and you can bring really good friends and people that you care about into your family. That's how that works. So I would just make the recommendation that nobody put their own personal lives on hold for anybody else. You'll regret it. Believe me. I think the road not taken. Always remember that line. The road not taken. Okay. Will you come back to Canada if Pierre Poilievre wins? I'd give him a full 4 years. Let him see what he can fix up between the time he wins and the time I would consider going back. Remember, Pierre Poilievre, he might mean well, but he's not going to be able to save the country. There's $2 trillion in debt. How's he going to turn that around? So I'm not going to speak ill of Pierre because I'd rather see him than Trudeau, but you know, he's not a savior. Maxime Bernier's not a savior. No one's a savior. They're just people who will inherit a very poorly run country. That's what will happen. Any jobs for outsiders? Not really. No. Costa Rica is the kind of place you come to reinvent yourself. open a business. But Thurston, here's what I'm doing. I do real estate referrals, and I get commission. And anybody who sends me a real estate referral will get 50% of my commission. That's how I'm doing it. So what you could do, Thurston, is start sending referrals my way and get paid before you even come down. Because there's property here. There's opportunity here. And people want to invest here. 4 million people came to Costa Rica last year to either vacation or invest. There will be 4 million more this year doing the exact same thing. Costa Rica's population will double in 10 years. Think about the amount of money there's going to be floating around this country. Period. Okay, everyone, I got to get ready here. Can you buy a villa with Bitcoin? Yes. You can buy houses, cars, groceries, hookers, clothes, everything with Bitcoin. They're very big into it here. Not like that stupid country Canada. They're huge into it here. Huge. Everyone, I got to go. Okay, but in 20 minutes at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, go to freedomreport.ca, freedomreport.ca, and watch the real estate show with myself and Mark Savoya. The two of us are going to talk about real estate, realty, and investment in Costa Rica. And you can ask questions in the chat room. So please go there. Freedom Report. It's every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. freedomreport.ca. I love you all. We'll see you at 9.